guys, welcome back to my channel. If you do not know, my name is Zoya and welcome to part 3 of my assessment. Through this video, I will be discussing colors in one of the most famous graphic novels, V for Vendetta by Alan Moore. And this comic stands as one of his biggest accomplishments that helped cement his reputation. This black and white novel was initially published in 1982 and was an ongoing series in the UK anthology known as The Warrior. It was much later that it morphed into this 10-issue limited series that was picked up by none other than the DC Comics. Just like me, I'm sure most of you have watched the thrilling action-packed movie starring Natalie Portman and Hugo Weaving. But just like most movies that have been adapted from books, this too was a tad different as compared to its original plot. Alan Moore's V for Vendetta is set in an imaginative, futuristic England and tells a powerful yet frightening story of a totalitarian world that gives itself over to fascism, losing its identity as well as its freedom. Through the novel, you read about the suffocating nature of the life they live in this authoritarian police state, as well as the fighting spirit of the rebels that fight against this oppression. V for Vendetta is a great example of how emotions and ideas can be expressed by using the right colors. However, like I mentioned earlier in the video, this graphic novel was originally published in black and white, way back in 1982. This was when the illustrator David Floyd drew V for Vendetta in installments without holding the lines, and solely based on edges and shadows to express the intensity of this dystopian world, and would also showcase the intensity of the emotions expressed by the characters. The lack of holding lines would cause the figures to overlap with the background, creating these amazing effects with lights and darks. A lot of people argued that this colorless version was the better project because it created this feeling of uneasiness that the plot of V for Vendetta gives off. Tim Callahan, a critic on the publishing site tor.com, described this version as, "The story, colorless, is a blade to your throat and the sound of jackboots in the distance." Just like Team Black and White, there were many others that argued that using the right colors was necessary, including the illustrator himself, who always envisioned the comic to be in color. However, the colored version of the graphic novel wasn't totally packed with these vibrant, in-your-face colors. David Floyd followed the same lines in order to stay faithful to the emotions and the message of the story, only to add really dark and solid colors just to give it a little bit more impact. He used these colors that blended perfectly with Alan Moore's writing style, and together they created this powerful, intense story. So let me give you a few visual examples of how Floyd used these particular colors to express different emotions, scenes, situations, as well as the time of day, and also representing the different characters. In most of the scenes with the character Evie, colors are generally more vibrant. These colors also represent Evie's emotions as well as her changing process. But with the scenes with V, the color scheme tends to shift from vibrant to something more dark, dull, and grim, using more tones of browns and grays in order to represent his power and the dangerous aura he has around him. In these two panels, you can see the clear distinction of color palettes used to represent the characters of V and Evie. V has a more dull and cooler color scheme, whereas Evie's is more warm and vibrant. Floyd also used certain colors to depict emotions as well as the atmosphere of a scene. In the first panel, the use of a cool color like a dull blue is used to show Evie's pain and anguish after finding out what V had done to her. Along with the intensity of the dialogues, the color of the panels intensifies these emotions. During the scene, the two are also seen having a conversation under a very heavy rainfall. The color used in the scene also provides more depth to depict this dreary and gloomy atmosphere. The cool color palettes are also used to show emotional turmoil in characters as well as in the world. The gloomy colors of grey and blue depict sadness, numbness, and misery. In the first panel, you see a character looking at the city and describes it as miserable, and the colors portray that exact mood. In panels 2 and 3, you see the sky turn more dull and gloomy as V orchestrates another attack. Here, color is used to depict danger as well as turmoil. Panel 4, after Evie's breakdown, she confesses to V that she now feels nothing, and the dreary colors in the scene reflect her emotions. V also describes the weather to be cold, making this panel another example where cool tones are used to show a Panel 4, after Evie's breakdown, she confesses to V that she now feels nothing, and the dreary colors in the scene reflect her emotions. V also describes the weather to be cold, making this panel another example where cool tones are used to show a numbing. And lastly, Warmer colors like yellows and oranges are used to show scenes with higher action and higher energy, like explosions and fires. By analyzing the color scheme in V for Vendetta, I hope this video gave you a more in-depth understanding of how impactful color is. Especially in novels like these, color tends to add much more to the storyline by expressing the emotions of these static characters and scenes. Through these colors, Floyd had the opportunity to express these implicit messages he had initially envisioned. Having said that, I want to end this video by asking you, with these examples of the comic both in black and white and in color, do you think it made a difference? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.